NFL fans, today's video is brought to you by Underdog, the ultimate spot for fantasy football. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite stats for your favorite players in any sports. And you could do cross sports. You could do baseball, football. As long as you got two on two different teams, you are in the game. Make sure you use my promo code JALLDAY. If you put in $5, you get $100 in bonus funds for all new players. Thank you to Underdog for sponsoring today's video, guys. I'm going to give you 3 rock and roll underdogs that are going to make us some cash this week. I think there's a lot of really good spots for underdogs to get potential wins during week 8. I'm going to give you my favorite 3. I'm going to go over the schedule, let you know where I'm rocking and rolling with these underdogs and what underdogs I think can cash us some bet slips this week. This Vikings-Chargers game is a little interesting to me. It's not one of my top 3 of the week, but underdogs have been winning emphatically on Thursday night. The Chargers are really banged up, so the Minnesota Vikings are definitely in play for me, but man, Thursday night betting is super risky for me, in my opinion, right? So they're like an honorable mention. I like the Vikings as a potential honorable mention this week here in week 8. I did like Carolina in this spot, but Bryce Young got hurt. Because, listen, the Panthers are really good at running the football, and the Bills can't stop the run. So I think this game could be close, but it's not on my top 3. Another underdog, the Giants kicked the crap out of the Eagles just a few weeks ago, but they were without Jalen Carter, and we saw the impact he had on the game in the Vikings game this past week. -7, taking the Giants in the points, not a bad bet in my opinion, but they didn't make the cut quite either. So where are the underdogs that I'm circling? The first one is the Chicago Bears over the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens just flat out haven't been good all year. 1-5, they've lost 4 games in a row. 38-30, 37-20, 44-10, 17-3. Giving up a lot of points, guys. We haven't got the announcement yet whether or not Lamar Jackson will be back this week, but it looks like from the lines that we've seen in Vegas that he will be back this week for the Baltimore Ravens, right? But tons of guys on IR for this 3-4 base defense in Baltimore. Broderick Washington Jr., Matabuke, Robinson, Cone, Longerbeam, Washington's out, Idisa Isaac's out. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. But the secondary is starting to get healthy a little bit, but I still don't think they're a really good unit. And remember, the Bears, guys, have been on quite the tear, right? If we look at the Bears in this NFL season, they look pretty good. They've won the last 4 games in a row. And the Ravens, 23rd in points scored, 29th in points allowed. Defense ranks 28th, offense 20th, special teams 21st. It's not a great unit, man, all over in all 3 facets of the game. The Bears are right in the middle of the pack in points allowed and points scored. Overall, 9th in grades, offense 13th, defense tied for 12th. Really good special teams unit. I think the Bears have a lot of ways to win this game. The passing game definitely has to be a lot better. And this is a big step up in competition, right? They beat the Cowboys, which is looking more impressive by the day, right? The Raiders, the Commanders, and the Saints, not exactly murderer's row, right? So this is a big step up in competition, and they got to go on the road. But I love the Bears, excuse me. I got the Raiders on the brain because they're getting blown out each and every week. But yeah, I really like this spot for the Bears. I think they can cover the points, and I definitely think they could potentially win this game, guys. So next up, another underdog I like is the 49ers at plus money, plus 1.5 points over the Houston Texans. This offense just does not look good at all whatsoever. If we take a look at the 49ers, 2-2 in their last 4 games, but they're playing pretty good football, man. They really shut out a good Falcons team. They're on the road. They beat the Rams in dangerous territory. They did lose to the Buccaneers, who were on fire in that spot. But overall, I think the 49ers are getting healthier by the day, and that's a good spot. We'll have to see if Brock Purdy's going to suit up this week. But Christian McCaffrey looks super healthy. Hopefully they get Ricky Pearsall back. And, this defense, without Bryce Huff, without the dudes, Fred Warner and Nick Bosa, Robert Saleh has this defense playing really good. And luckily for them, Houston's offense is awful. 27th in points scored. The defense is still really elite. 24th ranked offense overall. Just not a good unit at all. This offensive line is not very good. They lost their first 3 games. They beat the Titans, and they beat a shell of the Ravens, right? And then lost to the Seahawks, right? So, they have one decent win, but even no Lamar Jackson in that spot versus the Ravens. Banged up defense. So, they don't really have any wins where you're like, okay, the Texans are starting to put it together right now, guys. It doesn't look like that for me. And also, Nico Collins got a concussion in this past week. And with it being yesterday on Monday night, it's like a 99% chance that he will not play in this game versus the 49ers, right? So I like this, but I don't know how the offense gets by with no run game, no Nico Collins, a not good offensive line. And San Francisco is just very well coached. They're better coached. They got a better offense right now. I love this spot for the 49ers to get a big victory. And remember, all underdogs are plus money teams by Vegas, right? Whether you think they're underdogs or not, I don't know. I don't care about the editorializing, right? I'm just going by what Vegas is predicting with the point spread. And next up, guys, my third and final underdog that I think can cash us some slips this week is the Dallas Cowboys. I like the plus points, and I like it straight up. We saw that the Denver Broncos home field advantage didn't really matter. They were down 19-0 going into the fourth quarter, and somehow the Giants blew that freaking game, man. I think that game's going to take a lot out of this Denver Broncos team, in my opinion, right? And the defense was not good versus the Giants at all. And the Cowboys offense is 100,000 times better than the Giants. Dak Prescott, they got a better quarterback. They got 2 exceptional number 1 wide receivers in Pickens and our boy CeeDee Lamb. Javonte Williams trying to get right versus old team. I love the Cowboys in this spot. I just think they're going to hang up 30 plus, and I don't see the Broncos doing that. The Cowboys defense, is terrible. But I don't think the Broncos offense is good enough to take advantage of it. The Giants have a good front 7, but the secondary and the safeties, not great in my opinion, right? And they were getting shut out going into the fourth quarter, and then the wheels fell off for the Giants in Denver. But I love the Dallas Cowboys to get a big, big victory there, guys. 2nd in points scored, 4th in overall offense, but the defense is atrocious, right? Middle of the pack special teams. But when we look at the Denver Broncos, this offense, in the middle of the pack, points scored, pretty solid defense in the top 10. Overall 16th, 17th offense, 10th defense, 19th special teams. A pretty mediocre team. And then if you get a team at plus points at 50-50 odds, that's a bet you want to make over the consistency of a season, right? If you're consistently taking teams with points in 50-50 spots, I think this is a 50-50 spot. I think you're going to win some money, guys. So I think they can cover. Use those 3.5 points to their advantage. And I don't think the Broncos can cover the 3.5. And I like the Dallas Cowboys straight up. This offense is on fire. They're scoring tons of points. How they lost to the Panthers, I still will never know. The Panthers just ran the ball down their throat. I don't know if the Broncos are going to be able to do that. We haven't seen that so far this year where they can consistently run the football, guys. So far, I got Dallas, the Bears, and the 49ers. Underdogs I like. I like Pittsburgh as underdogs at home as well. That's a potential add-on in these spots. And I do like the Vikings for sure. And then, the Giants, they kicked the crap out of the Eagles not too long ago. But I think with Jalen Carter coming back, the offense seems to found something last week versus the Vikings. So I'm out on that game. But, some of these spreads are interesting. If you get like the Panthers in 14 points, the Giants in 14 points in teasers, Vikings in 10, I think some teasers could be in play this week, guys. There are 3 underdogs that I think can make you some cash. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning into the program, and check out my underdog promo in the description down below.